Well, hello there. Welcome. My name is Anita, and I am your Sherpa. This is the Storytelling Sherpa. My voice, my journey, my lane. Just my voice, my reflections, no agenda, no outcomes to manage. Let me ask something gently. How do I see this changing the world? For me, it's simple. Showing up fully in my frequency, stepping into my lane, sharing my story, and inviting others to do the same. In a world that often feels fragmented, overstimulated, and performative, holding a space for authentic voice, calm presence, and organic storytelling can ripple quietly but profoundly. Almost a week ago, I had a dream. I was putting on nude lipstick, slow, deliberate, careful, making sure each stroke felt right. I don't wear much lipstick in real life, so it felt strange but deeply meaningful. And I held a feather wand like a microphone, playful, ceremonial, magical, and it's with me right now. This dream wasn't random. Lipstick is voice, visibility, expression. It sits on the lips, the place where I speak, declare, invite, and claim space. I don't usually wear much lipstick, so in the dream this was intentional identity, and the slowness, that's huge. I wasn't performing, I wasn't trying to impress, I was preparing myself, conscious, deliberate, poised. The dream also touched a memory from childhood. I remember going to a speech pathologist as a kid. The focus on tone, pacing, enunciation, presence. Even then I was practicing voice, unknowingly working with the same nervous system and inner authority I carry now. That child and the inner child she represents are still here. I'm about to cry. Guiding, collaborating, holding the space for my authentic expression. Clearly, I practice what I preach. Everything I do now, stepping into my lane, choosing to slow down, choosing to speak carefully, is also honoring that inner child, giving her the permission to finally be heard without fear or judgment. So I didn't see this happening when I was planning this one. Later that evening, I acted on that energy. I cancelled 5 workshops, including one with 7 people signed up. Paused the earning planning stages of another podcast, back into the body that I was really excited about. Landing back into our body through the nervous system. And I had guests lined up. It was about embodiment. And I put that retreat in far north Queensland on hold. The energy of the dream, slow, measured, intentional, became the energy I brought into that transition. I wasn't scrambling. I wasn't performing. I wasn't overgiving. I just stepped fully into my lane with calm, regulated presence. This is also a financial recalibration. I realized I don't actually want passive income. I wanted and I want regulated income. Income that supports me without draining me. Income that lets me inhabit my lane fully to speak my voice and show up without compromise. This dream, this action, this pause, it's a seed. I'm planting calm authority, embodied presence, and subtle visibility. This is a seed I'm planting, calm authority, embodied presence, subtle visibility. It's also a reflection of my lifelong preparations. As a child, I went to a speech pathologist, pacing, tone, voice exercises, learning cadence, breath, and regulation. Clearly, I was too embarrassed to speak. And I remember as a child, always when I spoke at school, my face would go red like a tomato because I was so scared to express. As my beautiful inner child steps forward right now, no longer afraid, no longer embarrassed. Wow. In my 3D world, I'm an employment skills trainer, virtually empowering people who've been disempowered in systems. The proof is in the pudding. The difference I make from day one to the last session is tangible. When you give people hope and you're able to empower them in a situation that they've been so disempowered, that's the magic. Spiritually, my journey began unconsciously at birth. Consciously after my uncle died in a car accident while coming to help me in the Bosnian mountains. I called it the rapture. 2006 changed everything for me, and I still hold it so dearly. I've even got a photo of my uncle on the wall behind. I'm not covering or hiding him, but he's behind the storytelling Sherpa background. Since 2006, I've run meditation circles, crystal beds, drumming circles, one-on-one shamanic healing, cacao ceremonies, retreats at the Bosnian pyramids, and in Bali. I've presented at conferences at federal and state level, sat on panels, performed shamanic sound healing at the MBS festival and business events. All of this is preparation. And now, fuck it, I'm doing this /podcast /radio show alone, my own way, in my lane. Because I've been chasing models that no longer fit me, and perhaps never did. My medicine does not fit the current spiritual mold. Massive followings, algorithms, and performance. And the chasing element. It feels like you're just constantly chasing for people to attend, people to want to be doing the work and showing up for themselves, which is sometimes really hard to witness, to observe, and that's that sacred ache that a lot of us do hold and carry. This is reclaiming storytelling as medicine, the healing practice lost and infiltrated in modern times. Since 2008, I've been asking people to do a podcast with me. Even some of you who might be listening, yeah, you know who you are. I've asked you. Collaborators, co-hosts, ideas swirling, but always something held me back. It never aligned. And now I've reached a point where I just say, fuck it. I'll do it myself, my own way, my own lane. I'm clearing space. I'm stepping away from the templates, the formulas, the models that no longer fit me and perhaps never really did. Stepping into part podcast, part radio show, entirely my style, walking a path beyond the norm, exploring stories, presence and reflection, while seeding the subtle rise of what comes next. I've chased the spiritual inverted commas numbers game, the huge followings, the viral teaching energy, and for too long I tried to bend myself into a shape that wasn't mine. Yet what I carry, what I hold inside, what flows through me cannot fit the mold. It isn't performance, it isn't flashy, it doesn't need hype or clicks to validate it. It is quiet, it is measured, it is real, it is raw. It is the medicine of the story. The story of presence, of truth, of the spaces in between. I ask myself in my waking life right now, am I about to speak, launch, offer, or claim something more visibly? Exhibit A, and here we are at the Storytelling Sherpa. The reason why I do this is I'm giving myself permission to be seen, expressed on all levels. And it's quite interesting as I tune into the energy right now. I feel all the ancestors. So this is how important this is for me. And not for me, but everybody listening. Everybody who wants to speak, who wants to launch, who has something that needs to be seen and needs to be visible. The inside needs to come outside. It doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. And that's the thing. And there is no accident that as a kid I stuttered and went red like a bloody tomato. My throat chakra was blocked. So scared to express. And that wasn't just me, that was the ancestors. So right now, I'm really feeling this is a massive ancestral healing for myself and for you listening. As you hear the tears, the breath, that's not mine, that's ours. It's all of ours. And it was so beautiful for me to receive this in dream space. I've actually been connecting to my dreams a lot more and starting to decode them and understand them and to unpack them and take it to the next level and to be shown and see how I was placing that lipstick on, and it was a nude color and I was just enhancing my lips. So what I'm doing is enhancing who I am, who you hear today, who you see today, who you connect with today. And what I choose today and the way I choose to speak and express is different. Like I said, since 2008, I've always been asking friends, let's do a podcast together. Let's do a podcast, to the point that one of them even said, I've asked a couple, one of them even said, oh no, that's not part of you, that's not you. So even though they were a friend or an acquaintance on your side as a cheerleader, they still were shutting you down. There is no more shutting down for me, for you, for all of us. Another question I sat with myself in the last week and a bit: how does it feel to release the workshops, the planned podcast, the retreat? And can I tell you, when I made that decision, it was the most, here's the tears of truth, it was the most liberating thing ever that I had done. I've been doing this work for a really long time, starting off with meditation circles on a donation basis. They were packed out, and that's where the channeling came through and the different voices came through. And then I just kept evolving and moving. And as I reflect now, connecting with you, I reflect that I was always chasing, always asking myself, what does everybody else need? What will make people come and do the work for themselves? I'm on this journey myself, and I see how deep I go, and I see others in the work, yet they're too afraid to touch the edges, to reach the edges. And I guess releasing that responsibility is the most liberating thing ever. For those of you who are listening, who are in this space, who are in the inverted commas spiritual realm, aka the spiritual matrix. That's a whole other conversation. Don't get me started on that. We're still feeding it and prompting it, myself included. As I get deeper into my body, I actually see, feel and connect how much of that outside world no longer really resonates, irritates me. Sometimes even looking at posts in the spiritual realm just irritates me, and I'm like, okay, that's telling me everything. But to release that responsibility and to be in my own lane, oh my God, best fucking thing ever. And you know, I had 7 people lined up for a workshop, and I was planning this beautiful nervous system reset up in Port Douglas, and I just said nah, just cancelled everything, emailed and did all that. And to let go of that responsibility. We all carry it. We all carry a burden, not just our own. We carry the ancestors and the collective. There's so much of us that we do not understand, and our mind cannot comprehend what we are connected to and with and what we are a part of. That there's a seed of your soul in an organic, source-led world operating, while that one seed multiplies into many different other realities that are fake, which we're currently in. And to not be able to tap into that consciously, that real world. Yes, we live in a world that is all illusion and it's all inverted, but there is a seed out there. There is a seed that connects us to the real world. And then letting go of that and not carrying that anymore, and understanding that I can be me for me. So this is why I step forward as the storytelling Sherpa with my little bit of a stutter coming through. I'm only shit stirring myself, but I do laugh at my own jokes. So as you sit with me, feeling for the right word. As you sit with me, on this journey, because we sit through this together. We sit around the fire. I'm being shown sitting around the fire. That's the way we did it in the old days, right? Whatever those old days are. And somewhere out there, inside, outside, we're still sitting by that fire, still having these conversations where we're actually heard. And it's equal. Today, no one really sits there and asks you how you are, and if they do, they don't really give a fuck, because they're too busy feeding their own illusion, not even realizing that they're in an illusion. I am a massive self-reflector, so I will continue reflecting as we move on to the next theme. The next question that I ask myself, and I'm asking myself right now, what does being a Sherpa mean for me right now? Walking beside, not carrying. As you know, a Sherpa carries the baggage, right? As you walk up that mountain. But in this instance, as the Sherpa, we walk together. We walk together, holding space, sharing the load. I see you, I hear you. You see me, you hear me. That's the balance. Unfortunately, the world that we reside in and operate from, the program that we are currently in, is out of balance. So how do we come back to that balance? How do we come back to the balance within us? That's where I hope that through this storytelling, we are able to bring back this, I'm going to use the word ancient, even though it's not ancient, medicine, and allow it to unfold the way it needs to unfold. I'm not sure where it's going to take me and where it's going to take you. Yet I'm willing to take that first step. Where in my body do I feel resonance when I speak freely? When I speak freely, I can feel my throat chakra actually it's a little bit tight. So I'm going through this process of allowing the throat chakra to express what is inside. The body feels good. I'm not going to lie. Before I started recording this original version, I did a couple of little practice runs. And after the, 2 or 3, I was like, oh, wow, I really love this. So that was my confirmation that this is what I'm meant to be doing, because we're all constantly searching for our purpose. Your purpose is do what lights you up, what makes you happy. And it might not fit the mold, because it fucking definitely doesn't fit the mold. Storytelling is different from teaching, performing, or healing. Storytelling comes from inside. Storytelling cannot be taught. Because when the truth comes out, it comes out the way it's supposed to. If it's blurted, you think it's articulated, but that's the truth, that's the core, that's the seed. When I look and observe and witness the inverted spiritual realm, matrix, there's so many people jumping on this train, on this bandwagon at the moment, and you see the teaching, the performing, it's all just a formula. Everyone copies everyone. Slight example. The year of the horse, the fire horse, right? People that you're just like, I've never heard you talk about energy, but you're fucking talking about the fire horse. And that's the difference in storytelling. This is it. This is the storytelling. It cannot be copy-pasted. It cannot be copy-pasted. As the spiritual realm matrix, I'm really struggling to find words, which is quite ironic. But it's also me getting used to speaking to a microphone and expressing, because usually you can't shut me up. So that's the difference. Storytelling is truth, and it cannot be copy-pasted, which a lot of, and as I say that, my left jaw feels a little bit tingling, a little bit of release of energy. Whew. Our teeth hold a lot. Our teeth hold all the wisdom. Why do you think our teeth are called wisdom teeth? So just releasing that fear in talking and expressing and being the storyteller. So that's the difference. And to my beautiful inner child, that fat, chubby little girl, this is for you. Oh. This is for you. I'm showing up for you. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. Feeling safe to share, to tap into that vulnerability, to connect, reconnect, embody your inner child. At the end of the day, we're all just children walking around in adult bodies, wounded, projecting. Fuck. We're all doing it. So this is for you, little one. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I had to pause as the tears were coming down, and now I've just got my feather wand just drying my eyes. Whew. So this is it. This is the medicine. You can't explain it. You can't describe it. You've just got to feel it and witness it and be in it. So thanks, everyone. Now this is the fun little quirky bit that I've added into the Storytelling Sherpa, making it a bit of a radio show, because I always did want to be a host of a radio show. So hey, here I am. So we'll pause for a brief Sherpa interlude. This transmission is supported by something simple: breath. Wherever I am, in my car, at my desk, walking somewhere between who I was and who I'm becoming, I take one slow inhale, I count for 4 breaths, and a slow exhale, I count for 10. Letting my nervous system know that it's safe. Sometimes the most radical thing I can do